speed.
Nice.
I know it's not possible for everyone, but
it's not. Yeah,
I knew it would help, but I did not expect that. That was crazy.
that's hot. Ooh, good. That'll be good. I really, Mike, I really, and I know we're gonna have to pick. I'm honestly free this weekend, so I might be able to run back through it. But we need to actually release that blooper reel of like pre-show stuff, and like seriously slap like an SFW 18 plus warning on it, because like we're really fucking salty. But like it's good.
That's funny.
It's really good. Anyway, I'm good to go whenever. Actually, no, I'm not.
Is Heineman out? I need that for my pick.
Tommy, I don't know. I can find out for you if you don't need that. Oh, you need it now? Then I can't help you.
I'm just gonna guess that he's there right now, and then that
it's everyone to safe 1-1 draw.
Yeah, I'll change it.
I just like. Can we start asking the league to postpone games since they're doing it every week anyway?
What genius put Tampa Bay and Salt Lake City in a cross-conference game? Because that is
someone who saw them being both brilliant.
So whoever did that is so smart. That's incredible.
Well, we also get LA and New York to balance it out.
Yeah, buddy.
LA, whose only goal was originally called the own goal. Through what now? 5 games?
Yep. Yeah,
I mean, it did get changed. It got called the real LA goal, but for like 24 hours it was on as an own goal.
You mean a Real LA goal?
Yeah. Real FC United Sporting.
Okay. Matt Real FC.
God.
Anyway, all right.
There's Cincinnati with their weird name change thing.
No, that's always been their name though. Or no, that was always something that people wanted. And then anyway.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like it wasn't bad. Just don't rebrand for gimmicky sake.
Yeah, whatever.
For me, it's like how you have Reno as 1868. It's like, no, that's just gimmicky.
See you in the morning. Are you going to go to work? I'm going to work.
That'll be good. We'll put that in there too. Like special guest appearance. Phil's kids. And like all the B-reel of your cat.
Are we rolling?
It'll be great. Yeah, man, we're hot. We're live.
Making sure we don't do a last week situation again.
Yeah, I'm really making sure we don't do it last week.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, because I didn't hit the button. Yeah, I know. See, that's great. Isn't it great? Isn't it crazy what a week does?
I'm going to put a 3-3 draw with Phoenix and Swope Park. Doesn't that sound like fun?
That would be really fun.
Probable. I mean,
shoot. You know what?
I remember.
I didn't want to. I'm going to go crazy. I'll do a 4-3 win.
Yeah, man.
That'll be fun.
I was saying, don't forget we have our power rankings at the end of the month.
Yep.
I already put an in progress list on mine, which I've been changing constantly.
I almost
did
this week, and I was like, "There's no way I'm doing it this week."
I figured I'd do this and how dumb I am after the weekend games.
Yeah. All right, I'm going.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to the USL show, sponsored by Roughneck Scarves, your home for men's and women's national team USL and MLS scarves, as well as custom scarves for your club or personal use. Check them out, roughneckscarves.com. This podcast is also produced by the Beautiful Game Network of podcasts, which we are very proud to be a part of. Definitely check the whole network out at bgn.fm, as well as on Twitter at the BGNFM. Real quick, shout out to Hugh Roberts.
Yeah.
Immediately, this is not true, after being on our show, decided to get Backyard Footy in with the network, which is also not true. But it's always nice to have more people join, and especially players. It's just really neat. So
it was cool. That first episode had them giving their perspective, and I like hearing the hard feelings from players. It's one of my favorites.
Hey, I guess I should introduce myself though. I'm your host, Evan Malala. Sometimes I call myself the gayest thing in USL, which has been unfounded, but is also something that you can't really prove. So, whatever. Joined sometimes by my soccer colleagues, sometimes by my soccer acquaintances, but they are always my soccer friends. And for the next hour or so, I will be your moderator, host, or maybe even your facilitator of a discussion of a bonkers week in the United Soccer League. That's right. We cover the USL from coast to coast. Joining me this week, we have a short staff crew, but nonetheless, the man you kind of heard, the waviest man in the St. Louis metropolitan area, the cream in your Irish coffee. It's Phil Grooms. Phil, how's it going? What's up?
Going good. Skeleton crew is what I had that prepped up for the intro.
Yeah.
I work on my intro sometimes.
All right. Fair enough. And then the only other co-host we have this week, if USL had an Equestria, he is our Rainbow Dash. If you think he hates your team, well, 1, it's because he has facts to back it up, and 2, it's because you're right. It is Pony. Pony, how's it going?
Pretty good. I apologize in advance for the skeleton crew, meaning you have to hear more of me than normal this week.
Yeah.
Good.
Get ready for that drop of listens right in the Cincinnati area, baby. Anyway.
Didn't win.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I was there at that one. Guys, in Cincinnati news, FC Cincinnati trying to prove that they are the second best thing to come out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Phil asked me what the best thing to come out of Cincinnati, Ohio is.
Hey, Evan, there's been a question I've been wanting to ask you. What is
what's up?
That ever came out of Cincinnati, Ohio?
There's a little band called The National that are from there.
Oh, well done.
And they are from Cincinnati, Ohio. So,
I was trying to think of sports teams, and I was
no. It's not sports teams. It's a band.
Never sports teams with
never
Ohio.
Sports teams.
Exactly.
# never sports teams. Yeah. So Cincy probably maybe has their stadium. They have the land to build a stadium in play.
Good for them.
Yeah. So that's neat, and they're also going to be called Football Club Cincinnati because German heritage.
A little gross. It's a little.
I mean, like, I get it, but like, it's I don't know. It's unnecessary. Like, I don't care, which is cool. Like,
it's okay that you don't care because we're all still gonna say FCC or Cincy, you know?
Right? Like, it's not gonna change anything. So I mean, it's fine. Like, it's one of those things where if you want to do it, go for it. If not, take it or leave it. Really is how I feel about it.
And if you're going to compare other things like Real or Dinamo,
right,
just as bad,
Yeah,
it's true.
It's kind of like the gimmicky for the sake of, hey, look at us. We have relation to international sports. Kind of like my feeling when Reno came up with their name. It was one of those where, like, I don't hate it, but especially for Cincinnati to almost rename themselves as they make push to a jump, it's like okay, that's pointless because everyone's still going to call you the same thing, and it's just kind of like the hipster move is like look how cool we are.
Mm-hmm. And that it's like ATL UTD2, where like we all just ignore it.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's worse. It's just
something. We all know what we're gonna call them.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any other newsy news this week. I was 2 games off on Anua Obasi's suspension, so I'm not the disciplinary committee confirmed. And I saw that Suni Saad won Player of the Week, which is wrong because it should have been Stefano Bonomo.
I would have gone with whoever the Orange County keeper was. I forget his name, but he had a great game.
It's true. Anyway, guys, let's get into the results from last week. Let's just get into it. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Starting things off, Salt Lake City took care of Seattle, which is not surprising. Final score 3-1. We all had this going that way. And in fact, who am I looking at? Pony and Ryan and Kev. So 2 people that aren't here in Pony had this game dead to rights. But we all had a win. No real surprises. I mean, SLC still seems to be a team that you don't want to face. Mm-hmm. So
you could easily make the argument they're the best team out there right now.
I'm almost especially after what happened with the other team that I think is the best team in the league.
I was going to say the same thing, but we can't.
I think SLC might be the best team in the league. Yeah. Moving on from there, LA and Phoenix. Not as many goals as you'd expect from Phoenix out of this one, or not as many goals. Actually, Phil, you expected 1 goal from Phoenix.
Yeah.
But yeah, weird that they didn't get 2 or 3 against a struggling, or at least a very poor offensive team in Los Dos.
Well, the reason I picked 1-0 was on purpose on this game. I don't always have a rhyme or reason that I do my picks, but on this one, Phoenix really underperforms away for some reason. So I don't see them scoring a lot of goals away, but they usually come out with the result. So Good for Phoenix fans and good for me for picking right, I suppose. But yeah, on the road, they're not going too crazy with the goals.
Right. LA also, I think, has an underrated defense where they have all 11 people in the field. That hasn't been the case for a few weeks, so they've gone down to 10 and 9 men quite a bit. But if they're full force, they're not a team that is going to get blown out too often. They're going to lose a lot of games, I think. But they're not. They're going to steal some 0-0, 1-1 draws here and there.
India Nashville, which featured probably the goal of the year.
But what was that?
The Vinny Sod one?
Yeah, was it goal of the year or like weird Matt Pickens blunder led to that one? I mean, it's a great strike to get it. Like, I can't get a ball on frame from 30 yards.
No,
5 yards. But that's a good strike.
Yeah, it's probably going to be on at least a top 10 of the year. That had so much movement on it. I mean, Pickens is a good keeper, but he had no chance with that break.
Yeah.
Good job on the media coverage the guys who took care of the digital media, because that shot of the curve was crazy good.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Real time, it didn't look too impressive. It looked like a keeper error. Then you see it from the other view. It's like, oh, exactly. Wow.
Like, I would not have gotten to that. And I love the guy they cut to right before they showed the curve was the guy showing the curve with his hand, the hand motion of the curve.
Yeah.
How great the goal was. It was just good TV right there.
Yeah, I think this game was a pretty good one, though. Nashville gave up a couple goals again. Although the first one was a really bad defensive error, as opposed to, the second one was just beautiful shot, but the first one was the defender went for a header, completely missed it, and caught out of position, and an easy goal for Assad. But overall, I think these are two teams that are both be around in the postseason at this point.
Yeah, I would say they're both teams though that are underperforming for what I expected.
I'd agree with that. I think a lot of us thought they'd be competing for home games. They're going to be like the 5 to 8 seed group.
Sure. Yeah.
They'll be hard outs, but they'll be the 5 to 8 seed group.
Yep. I think it was really good for Indy to get a win, especially at home. Because if they can establish, and all the murmurs and chattering about attendance aside, if they can establish, Indiana basically as a hard place to come into and play, then they'll be fine. Because honestly, I think the better foothold you have at home in the East, the better off you are.
True.
Hey, speaking of footholds at home, New York Red Bull 2-5, meaning the team that plays in New York for Red Bull, but isn't the MLS one, the one below them. 5 goals. The Tampa Bay Rowdies 0. What
happened there?
If you say that you saw this coming, you are a liar, and you can stop talking to me.
Wait, that was Kevin talking. Kevin's here.
Yeah, is Kev here?
That weirded me out. I was like,
that was really weird. Hello, Kev. Welcome.
It's a minute ago. I was waiting for someone to acknowledge him.
Oh, geez, I'm sorry, guys. It's our version of Chuck Palahniuk and Elliott Smith. Kevin McCamish.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm great. Are you eating?
Resident USL creep.
Okay, great.
It's 1 minute from the time I thought we were going to start. And I was like, I'll come up here and kind of chit chat, and before we start recording, and I'll eat my dinner, and I'm like, oh, son of a gun, we're already recording. What the hell?
Okay.
Kev, if I may, just to catch everyone up to speed, do you have any thoughts on the first, or what is that, 3 matches of last week?
No, I have no thoughts.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Kev, you're joining us at an opportune time, which is where we all freak out about how the New York Red Bulls 2 beat Tampa Bay Rowdies 5-0.
I know, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that was a thing that happened.
Pony says about this because
Pony, what's up? How's it going?
I watched highlights. I saw lots of goals from Red Bull.
So no goals from Tampa Bay, which was weird. Did you think they left us on the cutting room floor?
Here's my question. Maybe it's a little both, but did Tampa Bay crap the bed, or did Red Bulls just do such a good job?
I think it's almost both. Tampa reverted to their 2016 "Wow, we suck on the road," or 2017, I guess. Getting my years mixed up, and it's still April. So for they just are not good on the road at all. And New York turned back into their team that won the championship by blowing everybody out the entire season, and it coincided to a 5-0 game. I think if you told anybody there's 5 goals scored in this game. What's the final score? New York 5-0 might be the last one you pick.
No kidding.
You know, really what I think it comes down to, Phil, is that New York Red Bull 2 were able to turn Red Bull Arena into a fortress of empty seats. And that really threw off Tampa Bay, who's used to playing in front of more than 100 people.
The Echoes made them think they were playing 22 guys.
Yeah, they were like, what did these fans do to like get a ban? And they freaked out. And in actuality, it's just that no one went. Yeah, so I don't know if we should really read too much into this game, because I'm imagining it'll be the exception instead of the rule. But man, what a result for Red Bull.
Yeah.
Where's Storm Brown right now? They could use him, huh? Bring him back from Scandinavia.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think the game just proves that Tampa Bay on the road is not that great, but at home they're probably still one of the better teams in the league. And New York, any single weekend could show up and be the worst team in the league or annihilate the best team in the league. It's just who knows what's going to show up.
I mean, to be fair, like as far as the score, what surprises me more is that Tampa Bay didn't get any goals. Like if it was 5-4 or 5-3 to New York, that would make more sense in my mind onto how things normally work up there than this 5-0 result.
Yeah. By the way, I meant Damian Lowe. Sorry about that.
Oh. Okay. Next match, Charlotte Independence versus North Carolina in the now I'm blanking on the name because I'm terrible.
I don't know. Someone said it should be called the Sweet Teacups. We could call it that.
I'm okay with that. It's a pretty cup. I don't know what they call it, so I apologize. But yeah, North Carolina wins, which is not what we were expecting at all. Another team I think that needed a win, needed a road win. Well, I mean, they have their road win, but they needed a road win against a better opponent than Richmond, maybe. And Charlotte's probably, I don't know, a little unfortunate, maybe not too happy to see this one end, 2-0 in North Carolina's favor.
Yeah, I was losing faith in North Carolina and their goal scoring abilities a little bit. They became what I thought OC was going to be for me, which is, I like the way they play, but they're not going to be able to pull off the goals. Obviously, OC did a pretty good job of that, and North Carolina has been kind of bad at that. But here they are scoring 2 against Charlotte. I still don't kind of know what to feel about either team, though.
Yeah, I don't really buy into either of these two teams much at this point. I think they're going to be floating around that bubble of maybe these guys are good, maybe they're bad. They should be beating the bad teams, but I don't think they have really much of an argument to beat the good teams on the most part. I mean, this is North Carolina's first win at this point, which is surprising. I don't think anyone saw them losing 3 straight to start the season.
No.
And same with Charlotte. They've been doing okay, but I think this is more a regression to what we expected, where North Carolina's a little bit above average and Charlotte's average, but both these teams are really hard to understand through the first few games. They look good at times, and at times they just look really bad and out of shape.
Yep. Nailed it.
And then, in case you thought that Pittsburgh was going to come back against a bad Ottawa team and score a bunch of goals again, may I remind you who their coach is? Lily Ball in
85th minute. 85th minute.
So, well, here's a question. So,
yeah.
If Nico Brett scored a hat trick, he's not going to play ever again, right? Is that how it works?
Bob Lilly would instruct somebody to like tear his ACL or something.
Can't have you scoring 3 goals. Get off my team.
Someone might want you.
Yeah, Nico, listen. Whatever you're doing out there looks great. I need you to stop. I really like, it's fun, it's exciting. I'm tired of it. You can leave. We'll figure out a way to like fake get you back into college or something, and you can, score tons of goals there. But I won't have this on my team.
I don't know. I never watched the Rhinos that much back in the day. What did their attack look like? Because I feel like
nothing until about the 80th minute.
I just feel like the Pittsburgh attack actually looks pretty good and exciting at times, and I didn't picture the Rhinos being that way. Pony, I know you used to watch them. Were they exciting like this? I mean, I like what I see from Pittsburgh's attack. It just hasn't quite paid off as much as I thought they should every game.
Yeah, this is not quite the Rhinos Lily Ball because the attack has been much more dynamic, and it's looked like these guys could actually score goals if they start converting chances more. But I mean, that's what Lily Ball is. It's wear you down defense of, hey, if you're going to try to bunker, we're going to draw you out. We're going to bunker ourselves, draw you out, and start beating you on long balls and counters. And maybe it's because Pittsburgh's not played anyone too good yet, but they've been a lot more offensively oriented than they have been in the past, which is kind of interesting to see. I'm not sure if this is really a matter of maybe the best team they've played being Penn. I don't know. No. But it's one of those. I'm really looking forward to the Cincinnati game because I think that's going to be the big measuring stick of, is Pittsburgh this defensive juggernaut, as they haven't allowed any goal yet through 4 games. I don't care who you play. That's impressive to get 4 straight shutouts, but it's not quite the Lily Ball we've all grown to. Maybe not love for everybody, but I always appreciate it because I play defense. I just love watching this grind down and frustrate the offense, then steal 1 goal late when you catch them sleeping. But I don't know. This weekend will be very, very big to say where this team actually is.
Yeah. Louisville I think the surprise in this game is Louisville gave up a goal. Maybe. I don't know. 2-1 win for Louisville over Richmond. They continue their being Louisville, I guess, is the way you can put it. Really solid team. I don't know. Richmond, honestly, good on them to keep it close. I think that's encouraging. But for Louisville, it's just kind of business as usual at this point, especially at home.
Yeah, I logged into the scores and I saw that Richmond was ahead 1-0. I was like, they win? And then I saw halftime. I was like, oh, okay, calm down, Phil. It's Louisville does all their damage in the second half. Usually, it seems like, at least so far this year. So, if they're down at the half or if it's 0-0 at the half, it's like business as usual because they always seem to figure it out and come out winning on the other side. And also Richmond kind of stole one Richmond style.
A little bit.
Yeah. What was it? I forgot what kind of, I think it was a corner or something like that. But, they got that goal. They earned it, but they gave it up. They had a chance because Richmond does defend well as of late, last few games. But there's Louisville being Louisville, like you said.
Yeah, this was definitely a game that Richmond could have at least got a point out of if they played a little bit better. I think Richmond's better than people think they actually are at this point. People saw Richmond last year and go, oh, these guys are horrible. They've started this season without too many quality results. But these guys are like Richmond at the very end of last year. They started showing up. They started winning some games, started playing better. They might not be really relevant in the playoff picture, but they really could play spoiler to at least a few teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Seattle and RGV. Seattle comes out on top here 3-2, which isn't what we were thinking. Well, except for Phil. Phil, you had Seattle winning. Was there any reason for that one, or is that just to snag some points?
Only because they were at home. I had them winning. And that was my one pick this week where I was like, I want to be different from everybody. I always do that with at least one game. But yeah, they look better this year, and RGV doesn't seem to do well away. The one thing I'll mention, if you didn't watch the highlights, is the keeper giveaway was hard to watch.
Yeah, as soon as I'm like that, oh no, there's like a Seattle keeper held on the ball for too long, gave up a cheap little goal to tie it up early on.
Yeah,
well, Seattle played well. I mean, they scored in the first minute. I'm not sure if it's the quickest goal. It's probably not the quickest goal of the season, but they went up 1-0 very early on and went down 2-1 actually in the second half, and then came back again. These are both two teams that are interesting, for lack of a better word.
Yeah,
they have the ability to be very good and also the ability to give up really dumb, stupid goals. And we saw a lot of that on display.
True.
Yeah, and then Phil, you guys took on I almost said St. Louis, which doesn't make any sense. Los Dos, and won by a final score of 1-0. You and I both and Ryan predicting this correctly. So
Right. That's good.
pat in the back for us. But anything in this game that stuck out to you?
It's kind of a couple games in a row. I think if I'm not misplacing the order of the games we've played, but St. Louis has put a lot of chances on, a lot of chances created and just not finishing. We're also down several players. Wallfall is out. Greg is out. Herzog is out. I'm so bad at names, even the most famous ones. But, we got like 4 guys out. And so, we started with Valesky up top. Not much to replace him if he got hurt, other than Dikwa, who's a totally different kind of striker. So anyway, the chances were created and there were a lot of missed finishes. And that's something to keep watching because St. Louis has been continually doing that. And, Anthony Poulos he didn't shy away from it. One of my favorite things about him is he always nails, he kind of calls himself out and says, this is the worst thing we did today. And then he kind of cleans it up a little bit by saying things like this, which is at least we're creating the chances. I feel like that's harder than the finishing. I think the finishing is going to come. So I hope he's right. I tend to agree with that, but something to watch with St. Louis not finishing their chances, even though they're creating them pretty well at home.
Yeah, St. Louis is a team who I think is going to get a lot better as time goes on. I could see them hovering around where they are now on the table and then catching fire come June and going on a good run. They have the potential more than some of these other teams in the same pack.
Yeah, they kept something else to keep of note. They kept the same fullbacks / wingbacks in with 3 in the back. And so I thought they were setting up super defensive because of the injuries. But they put 3 in the back and they pushed their wing backs crazy forward. They were very attacking. It was more of a 3-4-3 than it was a 5-something, whatever you want to call how they set up. And I truly liked it. The wingers just need to work on getting those finishes in. Valesky needs to work on getting that confidence to get those finishes. He could go on a run if these chances keep getting created. So it was cool to watch them in a 3-4-3. Very nice. Mwah.
Yeah. And from there, San Antonio and Orange County, which, guys, Orange County is actually good this year.
Yeah. I mean, this game was closer than the scoreline says. I believe the Orange County keeper had 8 saves. So it wasn't like they completely blew out San Antonio and they had no chance. It was just Orange County capitalized on all of their chances, and San Antonio wasn't quite able to do that. I think San Antonio is going to be like St. Louis. The team gets better as the year goes on. They get healthier and get people back. But Orange County, I think they might be surprised at the entire league of how good they actually are. People had them. I think we had them like 10th before the season started. Yeah. And at this point, they're definitely in the conversation for a top 4 spot, not only in the East, but probably even top 5 overall.
Really, really cool team to watch. They've become my favorite. If I wasn't a St. Louis fan, I could just pick anyone. It'd be OC. They're just a lot of fun to watch, and they're underdogs. It's like all the best traits of a team you want to pick if you're picking a team out of nowhere. One thing about this is that OC for me is a stock rising team, as Pony just said and laid it all out. San Antonio for me is like a stock falling team. I'm thinking of like the San Antonio of 2 years ago that was kind of middling. They weren't a standout team. I'm kind of starting to harken back to that team a little bit. Granted, they went on a run last year at the end of the year that, took them to where they did, and they looked really good in that run. So obviously that could happen very, very, very easily, maybe more so than St. Louis even, because they've done it. But right now I'm not liking San Antonio, and I think my predictions are going to be a little bit low for the next several weeks till they kind of start proving me wrong.
When they get the Nichols back, Orange County, they're gonna light it up on the West Coast.
They were so smart about the players they got
Nickelback?
in their.
No, the Nichols family was one of the 3 families in the OC.
Oh.
Yeah,
That went over my head.
I know. It's always so much funnier when I ask, but they're so obscure that I have to. Anyway, OC. Yeah, sponsor of the podcast, Lauren Conrad. You know. I'm sorry, Phil. What were you talking about?
Oh, I don't know. I was just saying. I thought the players they
All right, man. That's fair.
their loanies were really good. They've worked out. I think even more than they expected. So they did a great job putting this team together.
Right on. Kev, any thoughts on the show or that game?
The show? No, I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever seen the show, honestly.
Boo.
The game though,
Binge watch it together.
I don't know if it's any good. I'm not
Some
really
podcast.
it's not my type of show. The result, I mean, I like to see them doing well. I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be happy at least in the end of the year to see at least one of the teams I picked to be in a top spot in the playoffs.
There you go. Kevin is a genius because he picked Orange County, guys.
Well done.
No, it's pure luck.
Oh, all right. Okay. Guys, the next game between Split Park Rangers and Oklahoma City Energy FC didn't happen because every week.
Has it been every week we've had something postponed?
I think.
Maybe not week 1.
I don't think we had anything postponed in week 1, but week 2.
I think on
We had
average
one.
one a week, right? Or is it
Yeah,
one?
that sounds right.
Oh, it's right. Average because week 3 we had 2 games postponed.
Exactly.
Yeah. So one per week on average.
The wheel of arbitrary postponement strikes again.
Woo! They spin a wheel at
I
the
like
league office. This isn't true. And then whatever it lands on, they postpone that game.
Oh. You guys can't hear it. My dog got in a fight tonight and got stitches, and he's over here moaning at me.
Oh no, dog. guys, positive vibes to Phil's dog, please.
Poor Charles. Sorry if you hear whining.
It's all right. Speaking of positive vibes, Colorado Springs feeling away. 4-0 over Reno, which is not again the 5-0 New York win of the Western Conference this week was Colorado Springs beating Reno 4-0.
And away, that's an away win too.
Yeah.
And away. It's very true.
I just didn't see Colorado having that sort of attack or like that type of ability to score goals. I mean, a win wouldn't necessarily surprise me, but again, the amount of goals, and especially the fact that Reno couldn't get any back is shocker.
Yeah, I mean, Reno losing Ockford, Kelly, and Weehan is looking like a complete disaster this year. Yeah. Granted, they started bad in their first season. They started out with 3 losses and 2 draws for the first 5 games, and then caught fire from their own out. But this team doesn't look like they have any chance right now. They need to bring somebody in to replace those big 3 players they lost, and they haven't done it. And until it happens, this might be the Reno we see week in and week out.
I'm fine with that. At least for next week. Just hold out. Don't improve Reno until after week 6.
Okay.
Did the Quakes take Weehan back? Because I thought he was there week 1. Was I wrong about that?
I think he was there week 1, and don't know if he's been there since then.
Dane Kelly syndrome.
Yeah, a little bit.
Remember when Weehan was there, they scored 3 of their 4 goals in the season.
Yep, exactly.
So, who knows? That's a team that's going to be interesting.
And what does that say about Dan Kelly? Makes you wonder a little bit, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
Weehan.
Yeah. Las Vegas and their llamas Las Vegas and their llamas and their dispensary drew Sacramento Republic 1-1.
I didn't read this story. Kevin, did you?
You mean about the dispensary?
Yeah, that's all I want to hear about.
Oh yeah, they've signed an agreement and are now partnered with a marijuana dispensary because that's never happened before. And Evan and I were discussing that. I swear to God, the people that run that club, Las Vegas, have 2 lists. One is things that clubs have never done before. Another list where it's things that clubs would never reasonably consider ever doing. And then each week they just take a dart and throw it at the wall, see what sticks, and that's your announcement that week.
I love it.
Llamas. No one's ever done that before. We've got llamas.
Guys, we get high all the time anyway. Can we just pay someone to do a thing? Yes.
Next week's announcement, overweight podcaster with a bum knee gets signed to the club, and I'm going to be apparently some bench player for Las Vegas, I'm sure.
So that could be any of us. Why is it only you?
Yeah, why is that only you?
Because I have dreams, I guess.
Because if you are, thank you.
Llama dreams.
Llama dreams.
Yeah. I'm going to be a llama mascot.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, so a draw here. I think that's a little, well, maybe not surprising, just because I think Vegas is actually good, and Sacramento, it's a nice goal off a corner, but I don't know. I don't think they're like Sacramento of years past where they're really just clicking.
Yeah, both these teams are overrated right now to me. Yeah. There's no way they're both top 4 teams in the West. I think that.
Would you say they're rated too high?
Oh, of course, everyone is. You know that.
Not in however many states where it's not legal. Anyway.
But I think, especially Vegas is getting lucky. They still have, I think, more than half of their shots on goal have been goals, and that's not sustainable by any means. I mean, Sacramento was the better team. They went down very, very early on a corner kick and then got to go back on a corner, which for Sacramento almost never happens. I think they've had 1 or 2 in the last 3 seasons. They just can't score on a corner, but they got one in this one, and that's all that matters. But these two teams are both interesting. They've both shown that when they play well and when the things break their way, they have the ability to take control and win games when chances come up and to say they can win the games. And I think their season will basically come down to how many chances they get and if they can continue to convert the chances they get at the rate they do. But I wouldn't be surprised if both these teams slide out of the top 4 to be road teams by the end of the year. And Vegas's case, I think they could. I think if one of the teams misses the playoffs, it's going to be Vegas, because they've just been insanely lucky all season long. And, well, it's Vegas, but that has to end sometime, right?
I mean, I don't know if Vegas is going to be a good road team, but at home, I mean, I'm starting to kind of. I'm as my pick. You can see from my pick, I picked Vegas to win 2-1, just like Evan did. I'm starting to get into his boat where it's like, I mean, it's insanity, and usually that tends to favor the home side because teams are going to come there and just go, "What WTF? What's going on, man?"
Hey, and there's an expansion hockey team out that way that's doing pretty well for themselves right now in the playoffs. So,
yeah,
I think doesn't melt.
Yeah, I think Vegas has probably been outplayed in 4 of their 5 games this season, but they've been doing, or 3 of their 4, however it works. But they've been holding on, and that's what matters. If you could get outplayed and get points, more power to you.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the last game of the week, Bethlehem Steel 1, Cincinnati FC 1. Or sorry, FC Cincinnati. The rebrand wasn't that way. It's the same. It's Fußball Club Cincinnati because they have a really deep German heritage in Cincinnati and they're going for it.
Okay.
Yep. Basically.
All right.
Evan, you
with a accurate summation of how everyone feels about it.
You and Brian Weigel both predicted a draw against
we did.
Every one of your co-hosts, basically.
Yeah, it's like we know our clubs, Phil.
I guess.
Yeah.
Things that happened in this match. Anthony Fontana fed Corey Burke for a really pretty finish first touch. Steele held on. Well, unfortunately, one of our academy kids, Brendan Aronson, decided to try to shoulder Forrest Lasso, of all people, off of the ball and ended up breaking his collarbone.
Dude, I missed that part, but right before that, Burke got just shouldered real hard.
Yeah, we play each other really fun, don't we?
Well, Lasso's putting his shoulder, his full weight into these guys.
Yeah, he's he's a very large gentleman.
Yep.
Yeah. And then since he got a goal in the 81st, I think it was late. Maybe not that late, but it was late. And both teams that would have loved to get 3 points out of this end up with a draw. So two very unhappy coaches at the end of the game. And I can tell you that Alan Coach is not looking forward to playing Pittsburgh, because I asked him if they are how to break Pittsburgh down, and he kind of laughed at, well, not at me, but at the idea of being able to do that. So and for Steele, you're off this week and then you get Louisville. So, both teams that really could have used a win before some tough matches coming up, and they didn't get it. So,
yeah, I have to say that this game proves one thing. It's apparently the team of Cincinnati hates me as much as I apparently hate, air quotes, them, because this is the first game all season I didn't say Cincinnati's going to draw. So Cincinnati decides to go out and, of course, draw. Make me still 0 of 4 in picking Cincinnati games correctly.
Hey,
I haven't drawn again, so either they're going to win or Pittsburgh's going to steal points this week. So it's not going to draw, I'll tell you that much.
There you go. And hey, moving. Yeah, what's up, Phil?
I wanted to ask about them, because do you feel like they have a little bit of the Red Bull syndrome in them, where they can attack really well certain games and then it won't look quite as good other games?
Which team?
Oh, sorry, Bethlehem. Or not really? Do you feel like they're pretty steady? Oh, did we lose Evan?
I think we might have. I was waiting for him to answer, but
Yeah. He's still looking up at the sky.
Froze.
I froze up earlier, so I think there's a little bit of a connection issue. So we'll give it a second, but we'll continue. Oh, did he reconnect?
Second, Evan.
That question was so good, I dropped the call.
Now I see two pictures of him, and it's
yeah,
hilarious.
I know. I can
one a thoughtful Evan, the other one a contemplative.
Yeah, I'm very No, sorry. Which team did you ask about?
Bethlehem. Do you feel freaky with their attack looks really good one day and not another, or do you think they're pretty steady?
Honestly, I think like it's been and it's good. Like I'd much rather them play the teams that they've played now than in a couple months, just because I don't think everyone's really hit their stride yet. I'm happy where they are. Well, they're not happy where they are. I can tell you that. In terms of finishing. So, but I mean, it's one of those things where they're getting plenty of chances. It's just you got to finish them off. So I would much rather them get plenty of chances and not, have that final ball, than not get enough chances and have to work on actually getting in front of net more. So the goals will come. I just, and the defense is really solid. I think Prosper Chaluya has been incredible in his first couple games playing soccer in the United States.
Cat.
But it's one of those things where I would much rather them be where they are now than where they could be, if that makes sense. To not answer your question, basically.
Well, yeah, something that I got from them last year in the East when St. Louis played them is that they are such a team. Every player is a big part of how you score the goal. Yep. And something I noticed I thought has been standing out for FCC for me is that there are a lot of just individual incredible players on that team, and they just need to put it together. And obviously that's kind of what we thought might happen, is they'd have a rough start. Luckily they haven't been losing like crazy. And it'll be really interesting if we start seeing, Ledesma be able to connect to some other guys to score some goals, because it could be really, really gorgeous, incredible soccer by the end of the season if they can put it together.
So, on air, I won't say who, just because that way, if we release before it actually gets announced, I won't be in too much trouble. But since he is adding someone tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
So today, by the time everyone's hearing this, again, big, former NASL guy, matter of fact. So, first USL appearance for this guy. So that'll be interesting. Center mid.
Very interesting.
Very interesting indeed. It'll be
He's a couple players, so
yep.
the unrest rumors were at least a little bit true for some of the bottom of the barrel guys, perhaps.
Yeah, you'd have to think, and that's expected, and I think everyone really expected that. It's hard to keep that many people happy when what they do and what they want to do is play 90 minutes every week.
Yeah,
I
can already see. I've seen several USL fans licking their chops at FCC overs.
Yeah, seriously. Moving on to next week. It starts off Toronto and North Carolina. We all have North Carolina taking this one, which I think is a safe bet. Again, I still like Toronto. I just think that North Carolina's turning the corner a little bit, and they can take some momentum into this game.
Yep, agree. I want to see Toronto improve. I really do. So I hope that happens at some point this year.
And then Fresno Tulsa, no, which would be if they joined together and formed one super team. The Fresno Fox next.
I got a question. So, what do we think is going to be the most likely game to get postponed this week?
Good question.
Ottawa, because Ottawa.
Yeah, Ottawa, North Carolina, because why not?
Yeah, it's because it's in the north.
Yeah.
Snow things. Good call.
Yeah, Fresno's first game of the week against Tulsa. We all have Fresno winning. Pony's the only one that has Tulsa scoring.
You're not that bad.
I know.
I don't know, man.
Have they won?
I don't want them to be that bad.
Show me Tulsa versus Toronto, and the loser of that game might be the worst in USL.
And remember, they did put up the first game of the season was 3-2 to Real over Tulsa, and Real scored 2 goals in the last 5 minutes to do that.
It's true.
Doesn't mean a whole lot.
It means they can play well
for
if they want to.
85 minutes and switch off.
It was a home game though. This is away.
Yeah.
And then Portland is up next.
Yeah, Portland and RGV. Kev, how's it going? How you feeling?
I feel very confident about the game. Why are you saying RGV is going to win?
I'm not. This is weird. I'm not totally sold on Portland right now. Only because I don't know. I know how two systems work with academies, and sometimes it's not as consistent as you want it to be. And I know that's not really a thing for y'all, but I don't know.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards Portland because of 2 reasons. One, they returned to Merlo Field, so this is going to be a home opener, and it's going to be back at Merlo Field. It's going to be the one of 8 games this year at Merlo Field. The other 9 will be at Providence Park. Midweek game. So the home team has a home game on Sunday. T2 will have another home game on Saturday. But midweek, it's at home. I mean, they could bring some people that might not normally play for T2, some extra loan guys down to get some minutes. That in itself could disrupt a few things, but I have some faith in that what Cameron Nolas has been doing is been providing.
Okay, bye, Kev. Yeah, so that's why this game's going to end in a draw.
4 feet off the touchline. I think they'll be fine.
All right.
What?
Oh, we lost.
We lost your audio there for a solid 40 seconds.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
All right.
No, about playing at home. I think that was a big.
Yeah, playing at home, and then obviously Wednesday games when the first team plays in Portland as well on Sunday can always be interesting.
Merlo Field, I think, is going to be a little bit better for them. I think they're going to have a better time at Merlo than they will at Providence Park because the fans there'll be more fans, or at least it'll feel like there's more fans, and they're only 4 feet from the touchline, so they can really get into the opponent's heads.
Nice.
To put it nicely.
I like them. When I watched Portland, I can't remember what game I watched, but I thought they looked good. Actually, I thought their attack was nice, and if they can keep defending, which I feel like they have been, they can do better than what I expected from them this year for sure.
Yeah, they could be a low-end playoff team pretty easily.
Yeah, which is a big step. Big step.
Absolutely.
Big old step. Taking a big old piece out that log.
Moving on.
Yeah, Sacramento and Colorado Springs. We're all thinking, well, everyone but Pony and Kev are thinking Sacramento Republic at home.
I think this one's close, though.
It is. It's really close.
I couldn't decide, so I just figured I'd go draw.
That's you can do that.
When I can't decide, it's like, well, then it must end in a draw, right?
Why not both?
That's how it picks.
Soccer, the only sport where you can, feasibly say, hey, how about, both teams do a good thing, and that's allowed.
There you go.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of hedged the bets because Colorado Springs has been so unpredictable week to week. Like I said, Sacramento's good, but they're not elite. If Colorado Springs shows up, they're probably going to get a draw or maybe even threaten getting all three. But if a bad Colorado Springs shows up, Sacramento's going to easily control this game. It's just a matter of what's actually going to happen.
Yeah. Ottawa and North Carolina. Why do we have draws here?
Good question.
Let's ask Phil.
Phil, what's up?
What? Are we not allowed to have draws? We just talked.
We can. It's Ottawa, man. I don't.
Ottawa at home against North Carolina. Draws don't. If they postpone, you don't get points for saying it was a draw.
I was about to say, hold on.
Guys, change that to PP real quick, and then there it is.
I got it.
There it is.
Postponed.
No, so why are you feeling draw, man? What's not? That sounds terrible to people up in Ottawa, but what's having you hesitant to pick North Carolina or hesitant to give Ottawa a win at home?
I think, like I said before, North Carolina hasn't been doing too well, except for this last game, the 2-0. And Ottawa, I'm only giving them a goal because I feel like they're going to try to, they're going to get a little desperate and feel like they got to perform in front of their home crowd because they just haven't been doing well. I have zero faith in Ottawa right now, and I'm giving them 1 because they're at home. So that's how I put 2 and 2 together there, or 1 and 1 together.
Fair enough. Atlanta and Louisville. Phil, what are you doing this week, man?
Oh yeah, this is my one that I wanted to be different.
Oh, okay, cool.
Everyone's got Louisville, and
we do because they're really good, and it's Atlanta United too, who are also good. I like Atlanta United too, but it's Louisville.
They've had sparks where they've been really, really good. I think.
Yeah, but Louisville's just really, really good.
I feel like this could be like the ATL UTD2. Play the game of your lives against the best team in the league kind of thing.
You did it.
I did it.
I feel like my 2-1 prediction in favor of Louisville might be too low.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Atlanta's good, and so I can see them getting 2 goals maybe, but Louisville's better. So I almost went with like a 3-2 Louisville win or a 4-2. I don't know. I feel like 2-1 just is going to be not enough goals in.
Ugh.
Yeah, I think Louisville's defense is too good to give up that many goals against Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta struggled a bit against Penn, who admittedly is an okay defense, but you should be hanging more than 1 goal on Penn if you want to be putting up goals on Louisville.
Yeah. This one's difficult. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, 2 teams that are, well, I mean, this is a potential playoff matchup at this point, which I didn't think I'd say really. Man, we're really split on this one. Myself and Phil have it Cincy win. Kev and Pony have a draw, a 0-0 draw at that, and Ryan has a Pittsburgh win. So, sorry, Mongols guys, but Ryan's got your back. I don't know. I think again, this just comes down to if Bob Lilly can look at what Steele did defensively against Cincinnati and do that better, he'll be great. Which I think is a very realistic thing that he could do. Yeah. But at the same time, I think Cincinnati is a team that runs, excluding the second goalkeeper, even though there's quality there too. That's 17 guys deep that can hurt you, and I just think that it's got to start showing itself at some point.
But I don't think it's going to show against Pittsburgh. I think we're going to get a Bob Lilly special. It's going to be a 0-0 draw, and that's a perfectly acceptable result for Pittsburgh as being they're away.
Yep.
Right. You also have to look of who has Cincinnati struggled with over the past 2 years. Charleston and Rochester, both who are the very good defensive team who will just completely shut you down. And they're back here again. I have it 0-0, which of course means congratulations. It's going to be like a 5-1 blowout to somebody. But I just see this being a very low-scoring game where Lily Ball comes into play and Cincinnati has to hope to get one goal and just bunker down and survive a Pittsburgh attack who isn't all that great.
Now, to make a reference that I'll get and no one else will get, there used to be a program on MTV called Rock and Jock Basketball. And burned into my brain is basically the entire events of Rock and Jock Basketball 3 in 1998 that took place outdoors in the UCLA Pavilion, where the Violators, coached by Shaquille O'Neal, faced the Bricklayers, coached by Bill Walton. And they had a ball that was literally a disco ball that came into play at some point. I think, oh man, like Gary Payton took a free throw with it, and then like Sharif Abdur-Rahim maybe like dunked it. Anyway, they used the disco ball. It was a doubler. There was some magical Dean Cain and Michael Bergen action, I think. These are 90s references, like no one's business. Anyway, is the Lily Ball like an actual ball that we want to see come into play at some point, where it's like if Pittsburgh advances it past the midway line that they like it counts as a goal?
Just a bowling ball. It doesn't go anywhere.
Oh man. Ew.
Just a stone rock.
Yeah, basically. Actually, it's Bob Lilly just comes out and takes the ball for like 5 minutes, and it's like, yeah, we don't need that. It's fine. I'll keep it.
And then screams at them all to run harder.
Right. And then in the 85th minute, the 25-point net and the 50-point net drop from the rafters, and
love it.
You know, Queen Latifah tries to score.
There we go.
They're not playing Vegas this week.
No, oh my God! Wait, no, I need to email them now. Okay, dear, if anyone at Las Vegas Lights is listening to this, we need to start doing Rock and Jock Soccer every week. Games. You will literally have an attendance of me every week and like 20 other people, but we'll pay a boatload of money. And think about it, with everyone that's in like residency there, it could be like Britney and Celine and Blink-182 and Penn and Teller. And like probably you can get Jonathan Taylor Thomas from Home Improvement / the voice of Simba from The Lion King. It would be amazing.
They're gonna kick around a disco ball.
Whatever.
A disco ball filled with marijuana.
Well, so the marijuana would be provided in the locker room. Everyone would be really relaxed. I'll just say that. Moving on to talk about less interesting things. Penn FC. In their first ever home opener in franchise history, mind you, taking on Charleston Battery.
This is very much less interesting. I can't think of anything that is less interesting in this game.
No. Yeah. Phil, you have Penn FC winning.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. If Tommy Heineman plays, perhaps. Yeah. There you go. I'll change it if I find out he's out for 3-4 weeks or the season.
Fair enough. Guys, can we move on to a much more interesting... That's not to discredit two whole teams or anything. But moving on to a much more interesting game. Tampa Bay and Salt Lake City are playing each other, so whoever comes up to the USL schedule, thank you for a gift from the heavens. This is potentially your like USL Cup final.
So my only question is, why is there an East-West team playing each other in the middle of the season? It seems weird. I mean, I like the matchup. I love the matchup. I'm going
to two that are happening. So I know last year it was either you played a third team three teams 3 times, or you got an East Coast West Coast.
Oh yeah.
But this year there's too many teams.
Right. So I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's like hey, like we want to play these guys because that would be a really, fun game, and it's a way for us to test ourselves outside of our conference. And I could see both SLC and Tampa Bay agreeing to do that. So maybe they were like, sure, let's do it.
I can only assume that it's up to the teams to do that.
Yeah.
Because I think there were 2 games. Aren't we playing 2 teams in each each team plays 2 of their teams 3 times instead of twice. So
yeah, we're back to that now. Yeah.
Yeah. So look, you get 2 extra games. You get to maybe choose a cool one. I wish more teams would do this because this is awesome.
Yeah.
But gas money.
I have Salt Lake City winning this one. I don't know why, but I don't think that they're going to be as intimidated by Al Lang as a lot of the Eastern Conference teams are. And I think I think they're the best team in the league.
Right now.
Right now.
Yeah, still Tampa at home. Pick Tampa. Move on.
There you go.
Fair enough. Colorado Springs and Seattle. I'm feeling Seattle on this one. I'm not terribly sure why. Away, but I don't know. They're a sneaky good team, I think. And not that Colorado Springs are bad by any stretch, but I think Seattle can steal one on the road here. We've seen crazier things happen this season, and so I'll take Seattle and be contrarian again.
I know Portland did it, but I rarely go against Colorado Springs at home, so I put a 1-0 win for Colorado.
But obviously, I'm always going to pick the team that's not Seattle. So Colorado Springs at home, 1-0 because they're not Seattle. Moving on. Next one. We got some news to talk about. So let's chop.
We do. Oklahoma City, St. Louis. Phil, you have a draw. The rest of us that are currently in this call have wins for you guys. Why are we wrong, I guess?
No, I don't know if you are. I'm interested to see if anyone comes back next week, but
sure.
They're not at full strength, and OKC is getting desperate, I think, at home right now. And I think if St. Louis was to drop one in the next several games, this was one of the ones I thought they might screw up, and a draw isn't too bad of a screw up when you're away. So I put 1-1.
Yeah. And it's one of those things I'll remind everybody, in case you don't know, we record on Tuesdays, so we don't really have the luxury of having injury reports that we might on like Thursday or Friday. So take that as you wish. Speaking of things that we don't have the luxury of having Thursday or Friday, except for we do. If you go to our website, uslshow.com, there's a button that says Soccer Loco, and you can click that 24/7, 365, and my boy DK will literally hand deliver you items from their store. It's not true. But they will in fact deliver you the hottest soccer merch. Would you like to celebrate Manchester City's 2018 Premier League winning season like I do with the hot new Kevin De Bruyne kit, or just kind of Manchester City gear in general? Soccer Loco's got you covered. Maybe you want to buy a Jonathan Osorio kit from Toronto FC because you like the work you put in against Chivas tonight. Or maybe, in fact, you want to buy a Chivas kit because you don't like MLS or something. Soccer Loco's got you sorted out. So check them out. uslshow.com, little button, says Soccer Loco. It's a blue, white, and orange logo. Or for people that are colorblind, it is a gray, and gray logo. Just different shades. So yeah. What's up, DK? How you living? Cool. Easy enough.
Sure.
That's my excuse to talk about like the Premier League every week. Oh, or if you want a Wolverhampton Wolves shirt, because they're coming up. I think you can get that there. I haven't checked, to be honest, but there you go. That was your English soccer 20 seconds. It was also an ad read. Next game, Phoenix and Swope Park. Just because they didn't get the privilege to play last week, right? Yeah, I have Phoenix in this one. And Phoenix is at home, and they're really tough out at home.
Yeah, these are both two solid teams. I think it's going to be high scoring because both offenses are good. Both defenses have looked a little bit suspect at times, but I think Phoenix comes away with it purely because it's at home. If it was at Swope Park, I probably would reverse the score and have Swope Park winning this one.
Pony, I was going to say exactly every word you just said.
Perfect. Saving time.
Yeah. So, but I put 4-3 because I want a really exciting, high-scoring game. Could be a fun one to watch.
Could be. In the second interconference game this week, for whatever reason, Los Dos play host to New York Red Bull 2. And I wonder if that's because the first teams are
Yes,
meeting.
they did that last year too, I think.
All right, cool.
Yeah, this was last year's match.
Great. So we all have New York stomping LAFC 2 or LA. Whoops, sorry, LA Galaxy 2. Only because the Galaxy 2 are not good and Red Bull 2 are maybe good, but definitely a safer bet than the Galaxy in this one.
Yeah, let's be honest. On the non-existent LAFC 2 probably has a better chance of winning this game than LA does.
That's true.
It's true. Yeah. It might be true. And then last game of the weekend, Fresno and San Antonio. I have Fresno. Everyone else has draws. The only reason I have Fresno, take a guess. It's a home game for them.
Yep. Close teams, Western Conference, slow San Antonio. I
love that both conferences are a logjam at this point.
Yeah, they are.
It's really
Makes it fun.
It does, for
Kev,
sure.
I think we missed the Portland Reno game, though. You want to talk about what you think about that one?
But I think with Reno being a little bit off kilter, and again, this is the second game Portland gets to play at Merlo Field, I'm going for a home team win.
Even with the legs?
Yeah. Well, I think if they rotate players on Wednesday where they have a better chance of winning and then focus, some fresher legs that are on their more consistent 11 on Saturday, they could potentially get 6 points out of both home games.
It's possible. This is a point of the year for Reno. Last season went from being, hey, look, they might be the worst team in the league to, oh, yeah, Reno's actually good. So I'm going to back Reno. It's at home. Reno's not an easy spot to go in and win. Colorado Springs did it commandingly, but it's also a similar elevation. Portland does not play that high.
It's in Portland.
Yeah, Pony, what
it is? Okay, yeah. Wow. Disregard everything I just said. Also like Reno because I'm stubborn and going to stick to my guns.
Yeah, Portland gets a pair of home games Wednesday and Saturday. So
I'm going to see where Weehan is the night before, and that's what I'm going to pick.
That's fair.
Okay, so we'll wait. Yeah. So that is our weekend review for week 5 and our week of the week for week 6, our picks for week 6. That's what I wanted to say.
ESPN Plus.
ESPN Plus.
Talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm still. I think we got to give it a little bit to have enough people get mad at it so they can actually treat USL like it's a league that paid to do things. If that makes sense. Kev, I guess I'll start with you. Where can people find you on the Twitters?
At KMcCamish PDX to reach out to me directly. You can also find me at PTK Podcast, at Stumptown Footy, and I'm at stumptownfooty.com, playthekids.com. I'm all over the place.
Cool. Phil, how about yourself?
Phil Grooms, 2 L's, 2 O's, STL Soccer Report on Twitter. That's it.
And you do a podcast as well. Just
the STL Soccer Report is my podcast for St. Louis. So.
Yeah. Show you some love. Pony, how about yourself? Where can people find you on the Twitter and things?
Always on Twitter at Iron Pony Chef. If you want to send me hate mail, you could also find me on Twitter at ILM_Ryan.
Hey, we're doing that one again. Let's do that one again. If for whatever reason you want to hear more of my voice or I don't know, read more of my things, at Villela Victor, ILLELLA BSFC. Where else can you find me? Oh, you can find this show that you're listening to currently at the USL Show on Twitter. Thank you for the 1,200 something of you, which is crazy. I randomly checked today and we had like 4 new followers. So thank you. Things that I want you to be aware of. We have stickers. We have 50 stickers. If you would like stickers, feel free to DM us or get in touch. In some other way. I don't know how I want you guys to do that other way. But if you give us a DM, again, I want to do very much a pay what you want kind of thing because, again, it's crazy that there's people that financially support us every month on Patreon, which if you'd like to do that, uslshow.com, there's a link there, or just patreon.com/the USL Show. So that works for sure. Other than that, I think we're good to get out of here. So on behalf of Kev, Pony, and Phil, this has been your host, Evan Villela, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Cool.